I would always tell folks, read the label, read the label, read the label. The labels change. Look for the rates, timings, information on the label about how to use that fungicide for a fairy ring. One of the best things you can do, in my experience, is when you're using fungicides, don't forget, use them in combination with soil surfactants. That's been a real important component of either preventative or early curative or a curative sort of fairy ring management program.
Would you recommend them together or separate applications? What would be your go-to?
Yeah, I get this question a lot. There's part one and part two. Part one is if you have the time and resources, punch some holes, you have an affected area, early curative, or even if you're going after this preventatively or aggressively curatively, punch some holes. I like needle tining or solid tine. I like to get air into the root zone. Punch some holes, apply a soil surfactant and water it in thoroughly. Then come back the next day and apply fungicide alone and water that in thoroughly. And then over the next couple of days, every 2 or 3 days, again, water it a couple more irrigation cycles to really thoroughly wet the root thatch and root zone. That's like a best case scenario, the soil surfactant first, then the fungicide. But that's often not the case. Resource challenges and things, and labor and time. So I have had great success with taking a fungicide and the soil surfactant, tank mixing it, good agitation and all that, and then applying it and watering it in very, very. I mean, you want to. I like to water it in right away. I don't like to make applications and water it in that evening. I've had some success, and that's fine. But I like to water them in right away, and then come back later in the evening and water it again if you can. So best case scenario, soil surfactant first, then the fungicide. But in the real world, you're fine with tank mixing soil surfactants and the fungicide. And the soil surfactant part is very important to overcome hydrophobicity, soil water repellence. Helps to maintain the root connectivity. Those fairy ring sites can become really hydrophobic, and some of those species can break down the thatch and really release high levels of ammonium, which are detrimental to roots. So there's a lot of bad things happening in the root zone because of fairy ring. And so the soil surfactants are not fungicides, but they certainly help the environmental part of that disease triangle. And so,
yeah.
And again, one application, as you know, Jesse, may not be enough. That it may knock it back, but the fairy ring may be more resilient than we like to give it credit for, and it may come back, so you have to do a second application. I wish we could do one magical application and get season-long control. We don't have that technology yet. Maybe Enview is working on it for us. I don't know.